everyone, and welcome to the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world show made for the fans by a fan. I am your host, as always, Richard Tiemann, and this is the award-winning Fan Show. Yes, thank you. It is Thursday. It is good to be back. And, of course, we had a robotics division special last night, as we are continuing to do every Wednesday. So for you BattleBots fans that I know you don't listen to a lot of my sports stuff, Wednesday is just for you. But it was a great conversation in case you missed it. Matt Spurk, captain of Team Kraken, him and I had a great conversation about his team, the new redesign and everything. If you watched last season and watched this season, they look like completely different bots as far as their paint job and their overall intimidation factor. But the general idea is still the same. He's sticking to his guns. He has a vision in his mind of what he would like Kraken to ultimately be in the world of combat robotics, and he's sticking to those. So if you haven't heard it, I suggest you go and you download that and you give it a listen, because it is a great episode. And we also talk about this last fight card, did a quick recap. We have the upcoming fight card for BattleBots, which we'll go over in headlines, as well as catch you up on yesterday's and the day before's Fan Show Awards, our third annual Fan Show Awards for the IFL, because we did not have those awards posted yet for Tuesday when we went live, and we will have those, tonight after the episode will be the next 5. And then I said that there was 25 categories. There's technically, I think, 27, because one that I did not have written down here is the Game of the Year. And that I'm leaving to be voted on by the fans. You need to go and join the group Fan Nation on Facebook to vote. I also had a vote up on Twitter that ended today. And so right now there is a clear favorite as far as the Game of the Year. There were 4 nominees, and I can go over those as well during headlines. But if you're not part of the group Fan Nation, which is a group for all of you fans of the Fan Show to go and converse amongst yourselves instead of trolling my comments like some of you do, and that's a great place for you to go. Send me a request, I will approve it, and we will all will be happy-go-lucky. So, Game of the Year is the 26th category, and the 27th is actually the Fan Show Choice Award, which is something that I decided needed to be done when I initially posted that there would be 25. And that's because there's a few people that I think deserve to be recognized, despite the fact that they have not, received an award this year, which it's not like I'm trying to give out participation trophies. There's a lot of categories that me as a member of the media and at this level of sport, which is a step or two below professional, they may not get recognized the way that they should. So the idea behind my Fan Show Awards is that I want to give awards to people that I feel deserve to be recognized and appreciated. And so far, they've been very well received, with exception of a few. And, of course, I'm sure you all could probably guess at what some of those are. But for the most part, they have been well received. And I thank all of you and Fan Nation for continuing to like, love, and share all those different awards. So we'll catch up on those in headlines. Have a great special guest for you tonight. A friend, a familiar face, familiar voice, so to speak, that we're welcoming back to the show. It was great to catch up with him, especially during IFL playoff time, because he knows a little something about that. We had Ty Knight on Tuesday's episode, which was another great conversation. He didn't make any predictions, though. He played it safe. I see you, Tyler Knight. You playing it safe. This individual did not. This individual made a full-on prediction for who he believes will not only make it to the United Bowl, but win it. So stay tuned for that. The link, of course, will be either above, below, to the left, or to the right of however you're watching the Facebook Live, unless you're listening to me right now on Facebook, or on Spreaker.com. I'm sorry. And big shout-out to all of... Oh, my God. If you could see what I could see. Yes, I'm missing a co-host, and he is currently kitty coma to my left. Oh my goodness, we gotta take a quick photo of this, because it's too damn funny. Let's see. I can't forgive what he's laying on, but yeah. So this is directly to my left, and that is Yep, that's our co-host, hard at work, clearly. But Fozzie, my wife posted a picture of me and Fozzie for ISO in search of Spokane's cutest couples, and the photo has taken off, and there's been some issues, but it's been really funny. Put a smile on my face. Thank you, guys. I love you all dearly. So, yes, a special guest coming up, our conference championship preview. That's what this episode mainly is, the upcoming action as far as the rest of the world of sports goes. And then we'll get through what's happening in music, pop culture, and otherwise. I know there's a few things happening this weekend. And then, obviously, we'll make sure that we interact with you guys on the Facebook Live during this first portion of the show. So make sure that you guys that are watching get your comments ready. Let's see. Today's question, your favorite award so far. What has been your favorite award from the Fan Show? Because we've announced 15 of them. So what has been your favorite award of the third annual Fan Show Awards? And suggestions for another category. I'm always up for it. 25 is a lot, technically 27, but I'm not beyond. There's going to be awards next year that are not included, that were included this year. I mean, if there's no more expansion teams in the IFL, then the best logo thing kind of seems like a minute point then, right? We've seen them all, and unless somebody does a rebrand or there is an expansion team, I don't really see a point in doing best logo again. Best uniform, also, that might not make a return next year until we have new teams. There's a few that we'll see if they make a return just for sake of, like, you don't have to award that every year. You don't. In fact, we didn't have best logo last year. Green Bay was the first winner of that, and I still think they have one of the best logos, and I've said that several times. But anyway, let's go ahead. Let's get to it. We've got headlines. We've got all of that important stuff. So here we go with today's headlines. And headlines, of course, are brought to you by Dynamite Enterprises. They make great stuff, including these stickers that you see right here. And they also make T-shirts. They can do jerseys. They can do all that fun stuff. They can do hats. You just have to go and check out their website, dynamiteenterprises.com, see all the stuff that they have done, but that doesn't limit to what they can do. You need to go and hit up Ethan then, Ethan at dynamiteenterprises.com, and say, hey, can you do this? If you don't see it on their website, and he'll say, we'll give it a shot, and he will make sure that you are completely satisfied. Even if it's not exactly what you wanted, he will make sure that you are taken care of as far as, like, well, what can we do to make this right? Because he's a businessman like that, and I respect him for it, and it's been one of the best relationships that we've had here professionally at the Fan Show. He's made our shirts, he's made our stickers, our backdrop, our tablecloth, everything, and I could not be happier with the quality of product that has come out from that. So visit dynamiteenterprises.com. They want to customize your world, Fan Nation. They do. Promotional, marketing, or other. They will help you get ready for your next whatever, event or otherwise. Even family picnics. That would be something. You could have T-shirts made for your family picnic or reunion. That's something that they can do. It's the summertime. That's what you do in the summertime, right? Anyway, headlines. Hoop Fest is this weekend, and I've done it once. I competed in it one year, and it was I get it, but I'm not a competitive enough person. I'm not going to say basketball. I mean, if it was flag football, if there was Flag Fest up here instead of Hoop Fest, I may have a bit more interest and investment into something like that. But I did it because when you live in Spokane, you just do the stuff that's here. I've never ran a Bloomsday, though. That's still one thing I haven't done. But yes, Hoop Fest, the world's largest 3-on-3 basketball tournament, returns to Spokane this weekend. I'll be happy when it's over, because when you're a resident and something big comes to your city, you get anxiety, because you know that there's going to be a lot of people you don't know. There's going to be a lot of confusion, people trying to figure out where they're going. It's chaos. It's a mess. And, that's the nature of the beast. But it is still an event that a lot of people, this is like their year. This makes or breaks their year, is Hoop Fest. And competing in 3-on-3 basketball, some people travel from far and wide just to do this. Kevin Durant was here. Was it last year or 2 years ago? So it's a big thing in the Pacific Northwest. It really is. And in the country, I think it's the biggest. I want to say it's the biggest in the world, but don't quote me on that just because I honestly don't know. But Hoop Fest is a big deal here in the Spokane area. And let's see who we've got chiming in right now. Looks like we got Brian, Adam, and Matt. Hey, guys. Cowabunga to you as well. We've got Brian. Hey, what's going on, man? Raider Tony. Good to see you as well. Let's see here. Tony's liked best uniforms. And he says he needs some local wrestling guys on there. I have some issues with some local wrestling promotions. And Tony, you and I can talk about that at a later time. But there's been... there's been some stuff like it's not me, it's you kind of thing going on. I've tried to collaborate with some of these independent promotions in the area, and apparently they're good. What do you do? Tony, you and I can talk about that later. That doesn't need to be on the comments here. Anyway, so Tony's going to hit up my inbox any minute now. Adam says his favorite award so far has been Best Social Media and Best Fans. Look, Best Fan Award is simple. For those of you that may have missed it, Green Bay is the 2019 award winner for the Best Fans, and really they should win it every year. But it's for a few reasons. One, let's be honest, and let's get this out there. Attendance of a game, of a season, has absolutely nothing to do with who the best fans are. You can have 10,000 fans show up to each and every game, but to the rest of the fans, like for the away team, or just in general throughout the league, if those are 10,000 assholes, you're not the best fans. Look, I'm not calling a certain fan base 10,000 assholes. I'm not. I'm simply putting into perspective that a number means nothing when it comes to what the award is. And in my mind, because it's my award, the best fans in the league are the ones that you're friends with, regardless of if they cheer for your team or not. You look forward to going and hanging out with them at away games. You want them to come and participate in your tailgate. It's like the question is that ultimately decides this is if you're going to have a tailgate or if you're going to go to an away game, which fan base are you most excited to include in that? Green Bay's fans every single time. They're not starting stuff on the social media. They're not getting into arguments on groups or chats or whatever. They just love the game. And they love their team, and that's why whether it's 100 or 100,000, which is obviously a very big number, they are, as of right now, the best fans in the league. And I'm sorry if some of you don't agree with that, but it is very easy to consider yourself the best fan when your team is winning. And this team hasn't been to the playoffs in 7 years. And yeah, they got eliminated in the first round, but it's the fact that they ended a drought and their fans hardly ever waver or falter. They're there, win, loss, or draw. So that was my criteria for it. And I'm sorry, I'm not sorry. I will not change it. I will not apologize for who I named as the best fans. It's ridiculous. Hello, Kristen. Good to see you. Brian says 10,000 assholes. Am I wrong though? Let's just get that out in the front though. Like if there's a team that has all these fans, but a majority of them just do not get along with the rest of the fans in the league, do you consider them the best fans because they show up for a winning team? No, it's just ridiculous to me. So I'm glad that got a chuckle. Matt says, give an award for the biggest arena then. Absolutely. Knock yourself out. If you want the award for highest attendance, it's all you. You guys, bar none, So, Adam says, who is not a Blizzard fan, by the way. Adam, he's the Fan Show's top fan. Adam says, Blizzard fans also bring great stuff from Wisconsin as well. They know how to tailgate, man. That's Football Town, USA. I don't care what anybody else says, man. Like, as a Niners fan, in the 90s, watching Brett Favre constantly beat up on my team and my guy, Steve Young, I still couldn't get enough of the Packers. It's a cultural thing, man. It's something that you only understand if you like football. And so Green Bay, their fans, really second to none. Like Iowa, their fans are great. They travel really well, the flight crew and the rest of the guys. But sometimes they will ruffle some feathers, and I will admit that I've seen it. They get on some people's nerves, but that's also the passion of the sport. But it's like Green Bay, they're just kind of sitting back watching, like, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen next? What's going on? I'm excited. Well, Iowa's just like, yeah, and then you have other teams like Arizona, like, yeah, and they're just like, hey guys, how you doing? Like, that's Green Bay's fan base, and that's why I love them so much. So I'm not going to apologize for the awards so far, but here we will go over the awards right now so far, the ones that we missed anyway. No need to go back to Monday's awards. But Tuesday we had Best Uniform, Cedar Rapids River Kings. We had the Best Staff and Front Office, the Quad City Steamwheelers. We had the Best Equipment Manager, a new category, and that is Todd Connor. In fact, I think last year we had Best Uniform, and that was Arizona. And we also had Best Uniform, I think, the year before that, which was the Spokane Empire, if I remember correctly. Or they had Best Alternate Uniform, which is a thing, but I didn't want to get that specific. Best Equipment Manager, though, is a new category. Best Fans, the Green Bay Blizzard. And then last night, we had Best TV Commentary, Rich Rosti of the Sioux Falls Storm. We had Best Radio Commentary, Joe Stacy of the Iowa Barnstormers. Best Dance Team, the Arizona Sidewinders. Best Entrance Photo, Matt Henshaw. And Best Action Photo, Nick Giles. Those, all 5 are new categories. I have never done. I did Best Live Broadcast, I think, last year or the year before, and that was Arizona because they had a really well done broadcast. But this year, like, the graphics either weren't there or they were wrong or something. Sioux Falls, though, top to bottom, had probably the best broadcast, and Rich Rosti being on the call for all their home games. Because if you don't know, people are like, well, why didn't Joe win Best TV Commentary and just radio? Because you don't always get Joe on every Iowa Barnstormers game. You don't even get him on the home games. You get him at the away games, but he's always on the radio call, and that's why he's the best on the radios, because not only is he on all those, he's the best at it. Rich Rossi, though, every Sioux Falls game you tune into, he's there. He's the voice, and he does a fantastic job. So those are my winners. We've got some winners coming up tonight, some awards. We got the Kickers Need Love 2 Moment of the Year. We have the Breakout Player of the Year, Outstanding Offensive Line and Defensive Line. And I think we're going to do the Fan Show Choice Award tonight, and then we'll save the last 7 for tomorrow night, which will be the Rookie of the Year, Outstanding Offensive, Defensive, and Special Teams Player of the Year, MVP Coach of the Year, and then, of course, Game of the Year. So there are the remaining categories, so you guys can get excited about that. In pop culture news, they're re-releasing Endgame this weekend with, I believe, deleted scenes and bonus content. So you guys can go ahead and check that out. And let's see here. Adam says, well, you're not wrong. Thanks, Adam. I appreciate that. And other than that, really, there isn't a whole lot going on. So Hoop Fest, Blink-182's 25th anniversary Enema State Tour is kicking off this weekend. And then the Wolfpack have their final home game of the season. That's the 29th. I'll be on the PA for that, so that should be fun. I wish those guys the best of luck. It should be postseason aspirations for this guys. They should get in. Took a tough loss on the road last week, though, against Portland. So it's been a very competitive year for the Spokane Wolfpack. I've been honored to be a part of it. So they have a game coming up. And then let's see here. For the National Arena League, we have games on Saturday and a game on Sunday. Saturday, we will see the Pirates at the Lions. Then we will see the Sharks at the Streets, and those are both at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. And then Sunday, we will see the Cobras in Orlando to take on the Predators, and that is Sunday at 5:30 Eastern, 2:30 Pacific. Best wishes to Ken Walton. He was released and then retired, so best wishes to him. He's a phenomenal guy, an incredible athlete. He had quite the storied career and quite the story in his career during his indoor and arena football playing days. So nothing but the best for him. Adam says Avengers Assemble. Yes, go and assemble for your Avengers. What else am I forgetting? Oh, we've got Arena Football League action. And speaking of which, my special guest tonight is a member of the Arena Football League. He used to play for the Spokane Empire, in fact. And that team is the Atlantic City Blackjacks. He is Nick Haag, the Beast from the East, so we're excited to hear from him a little bit later. But right now, the standings for the AFL, the 6 teams, Albany Empire 8-1, Washington Valor 5-4, Philadelphia Soul 5-4, Baltimore Brigade 5-4, Atlantic City Blackjacks 3-6, and Columbus Destroyers 1-8. 4 of those teams will advance to the postseason, and Blackjacks obviously hoping to be one of those 4, and we talk about the scenario that they need to have happen over these last 4 weeks in order to secure a playoff spot. So coming up this weekend for the AFL, it is week number 10, and we have Columbus at Baltimore on Friday. So tomorrow night we have Albany at Philadelphia. That's Saturday. And then also on Saturday is Atlantic City at Washington. So Atlantic City will play the 3 teams that are currently ahead of them in the standings. So very good chance that I do believe they control their own destiny, save for a few random variables. But yeah, it was great to talk to Nick. It's a great conversation. You guys are definitely going to want to stick around to hear it. So, okay, let's get to it. I know. You're like, yak. IFL, Indoor Football League action, and that is this weekend, and we have our conference championships. So we will see both games on the same day, so we will know roughly within an hour of each other what our United Bowl matchup is for the conclusion of the 2019 season. First up is at 7:05 Central Time, so that's 8:05 Eastern, 4:05 or 5:05 Pacific. I'm sorry, that is the Sioux Falls Storm going into Iowa to take on the reigning champion Iowa Barnstormers. And then we have at 8 o'clock Central Time, which is 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. That is the Nebraska Danger going into Arizona to take on the Rattlers. These games are going to be really good. And I don't say that in a way of like, well, we hope we get the best action that we can from these 4 squads. No, I really think these 2 games are going to be outstanding because this is the round of the playoffs that you usually see some of the best action. I think last week was probably some of the best action that we've seen collectively throughout the season. But there have been some games that have really stood out, and obviously I had 4 options for the game of the year, and Quad City was involved in a few of them. They won one, they lost one. But there was some really great IFL football this year. I'm happy that these awards are going so well and being well received as they are. Adam says go Danger. But yeah, it was a great time. Let's see. Adam had pop culture news. He messaged me earlier. Oh, Scooby-Doo, who used to have like a special where they would invite celebrities. I want to say probably animated series, but like the Addams Family and Three Stooges were a few examples. I guess that's making a comeback. There's a lot of stuff making comebacks. I mean, if you looked at who's in the box office right now, it looks like it's 1994. They got Toy Story, they've got Aladdin, they've got what are some of the other ones that I saw on there that were Child's Play. That's 80s, but yeah, it's like, what year is it? I don't know. It's good. I might go see Avengers Endgame again. Bass Battles tournament semifinals and championship are this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, down in the Columbia River area, just an hour outside Portland, Oregon. So if you're in that area and you want to do some fishing, check it out. I need to get out of here and go fishing. I'm convinced that once we crown a new indoor football league champion, that I might just take a mini vacay, because I was looking back at all the stuff that I had taken on this season for the IFL, and I know that the tour didn't come out quite how I wanted to. There was only really 2 stops, of course, pending the United Bowl, assuming I make that, 3 stops. But last year, stop-wise, it was really good, and I loved getting out there and mixing and mingling with you fans. But this year, it's like what I lacked in stops, because obviously I was getting hired and paid to go and do these other events, AFE, the Wolfpack, I made up for with a lot of really good content that I had only kind of thought about until I got into Full Sail. And they have given me the tools and showed me how to do some really good stuff, and that's graphics. We did the Outstanding Players of the Week all year long, and those were great. And then we did the Fan Show Top 10, and that was probably one of my favorite things about this season that I did. And I know there was a few weeks that I missed. I still have to make those up, because we will have a Top 10 Plays of the Year video compilation of those. And it was just a lot of fun, because I really dove into watching these games multiple times, taking notes. In fact, I'm going to actually share a video that I made last week. You guys will enjoy, of the behind the scenes, what goes into making the Fan Show Top 10. You'll probably get a good chuckle at it. I know I did when I was watching it back. I was like, that's really funny. I don't know if I should post that, but that's really funny. Anyway, so yeah, I think that about covers everything. Let's see here. Yeah, Brian says that's because newer age ideas suck. They kind of do. I guess the Avengers, that whole thing, and the Marvel Cinematic Universe was kind of a newer idea, but it adopted its ideas from comics, which we all know are old. Could go either way. I respect your opinion on that, Brian. And I see Casey is watching. Casey was one of the winners of our prestigious Fan Show Awards 2019 for the IFL. It was a good season, and I know that we still have the championship, a week off, and then the United Bowl, but I just want to come out and say that this was, I think, a really good year for the IFL. It's nice to see some of the teams share and interact with the show's stuff and to be acknowledged. I think that's an award in itself. I posted on my personal Facebook the other day, the thing that sucks about being media and creating your own awards is that you can't create a best media award. Damn. Oh, well, maybe next time, right? Casey says, thank you, you're welcome. And then, yes, congratulations to Casey. That was a new category. But, again, these are people that I feel deserve recognition because I interact with pretty much everybody that has been nominated and received an award. I was going to say nominated, but it's not like you guys see my list of nominees. I have my list in my head internally. And these are people that I feel have done an incredible job at what they do and stuff that probably really goes overlooked 9 times out of 10. Now, I don't interact a whole lot with the dance teams of the league, but that's kind of a given award that, each team has a dance team and you want to award that. Maybe there should be some more interaction with the dance teams. I don't know. But best staff and front office, I interact with them every season, right? And some of them are really with it. Some of them have got it going on and others do not. PA guy, I interact with them on occasion, just because it's someone who does that. I respect what they do. I interact with the commentary guys, both radio and TV. I interact with the equipment guys. When I go on tour, I interact with just about every aspect of a franchise: front office, players, coaches, fans, especially. So these awards, I felt confident in awarding to people because I have dealt with them firsthand and built some great relationships, especially the photography stuff. I can't give enough awards for photography because these guys have done some great work. Mike Mattina, he's the photographer for Tucson. He just started photographing. He just started shooting sports in January, and this was his first go with indoor football, and I thought he crushed it. I used a lot of his photos for some of my stuff, both the Tucson Sugar Skulls awards and away teams sometimes, and he did a phenomenal job, so congratulations to him. But yeah, Matt Henshaw, Nick Giles, and Matt Carwick, they did amazing work this season. So let's see. Casey's shouting for 2-time. He's hoping to have multiple champ next year. We'll see. In order to accurately do it, I do need to get around to more arenas. Let's see. Brian says the entrance photo award was a great choice. That photo was, that's probably one of my favorite photos ever. Just because, as a wrestling fan and loving entrances and trying to be that photographer to capture those entrances, because I know how important they are to the players. Like they have their routine, they have their thing that they come out and they do, whether it's the Ray Lewis, whatever you got to do, they've got it. If I was ever to come out of a tunnel, which I've done once, but I wasn't prepared for it. But if I was going to come out, just Shawn Michaels, hands down, you do the sexy boy pose. But these guys, to capture those moments, and Matt Henshaw to capture it the way that he did, that was phenomenal. So congrats to him. I'm glad to see that people like that. Matt, our photographer of the year, he's envious of that shot. It's a great shot. And the action shot, let me just tell you that was not an easy choice on my end. The best action shot, I was looking for ones that it's just like, because there's action that happens that a foot can be blurred, a ball can be blurred, or something can be out of focus or blurred, and it's like you're looking at this otherwise great photo, but your eye keeps going to that one thing. There was like nothing out of focus about this, and the fact that it's the receiver and the defender both going up for the ball, I just thought it was an amazing shot. And there were shots of Kevin Rudd that were really good that Nigel Stevens shared with me the other night. And I said, yeah, those are outstanding. And Matt, he had some great shots, including one that is on the photo, or one of the photos on the graphic for him from this playoff game that was an amazing shot. So, yeah, the best action shot is not an easy award because there are some really, really good shots out there. And trust me, I've seen thousands of photos this season, and there are some really, really good ones. So congrats to you guys that are out there doing the good work, shooting those shots, and making sure that we can enjoy those moments forever, that one snap of a piece of time for eternity. Let's see here. Yes, Brian says it was a good shot to be envious of, and Adam says DDT for me, self high five. Yeah, I could see you doing the diamond cutter coming out. Bang, bang! That'd be fun. All right. You guys are more than welcome to keep commenting on this as far as what would your entrance pose be? There's a good question for you. But we will be back with more of the Fan Show next week. But until then, we still got a little more episode going on. Oh, I promised you guys BattleBots matchup here. Hold on. BattleBots fight card was announced today. So we have Ribot versus Endgame, Blacksmith versus Kraken, which is fitting because he was just on the show last night. We have Lockjaw and Quantum, Rainbow and Nelly the Ellibot, Bombshell and Rotator, Cobalt and Duck, and your main event is Sawblaze versus Tombstone. That's a stacked card. Trust me. I've been there. I've seen it. That is a stacked card. With the exception of like Nelly the Ellibot and Rainbow, but who knows? That could surprise. Like, I'm not saying that that's not going to be a good fight. It's just you read the rest and it's like Sawblaze, Lockjaw, Rainbow. Rainbow's going to fight. I think they're a team from Russia or the Ukraine. Anyway, thanks you guys. It's been a lot of fun. So go ahead, click that link wherever it's available. Top, bottom, left, right, north, south, east, or west. And hear my conversation with the one and only Nick Haag. All right, ladies and gentlemen, joining me now, a big welcome back to one of my all-time favorites. He is the Beast from the East, and he plays for the Atlantic City Blackjacks. He is the one and only Nick Haag. How you doing, man?
My man, how are you? How's everything?
Dude, I'm doing good. It's a bittersweet time of year for me because we are in the IFL postseason, which you know all about. We've got the conference championships this weekend, and then we'll have another United Bowl. But hey, before we talk about that, let's talk about you. I have said for years since I've known you that you guys are professional athletes and deserve to be compensated and treated as such. And here we are a few years after that, and you and Craig the Leg and Guerra and a few others that I know are being treated and paid as professionals in the Arena Football League. How's that feel, man?
I know, I mean, it feels great. You know, it's just, you know, your hard work pays off, you know, through the years and all that type of stuff. So obviously in a great place and a well-run, league, so couldn't be happier.
Yeah, and I mean, it's been a journey for you, to say the least, and I know that you've enjoyed every step of that journey, trials and tribulations, but, last year I thought was kind of going to be, your happy place. You were playing in your backyard in, Massachusetts for the Pirates, and you had your family at a bunch of the games, got to meet your dad, and he's such an incredibly great guy, and he's super supportive of you. But now, you're at the next level. You're playing for the Blackjacks, and you guys are doing pretty well this season. And I got to say, if you had to compare and contrast what last season meant to you and what this season means to you, I mean, where does each one weigh on you as far as, how it makes you feel at the end of the day?
I mean, obviously, you lose a big part being home and with all the fan base as far as being at every game with family and friends that are at home. So obviously that was something that was, going to be a lot different than this year. But as far as, what's got me through is coming to an organization that's like run with such top class and the way it is professionally, that makes it a lot easier. And this is just a great group of guys. Definitely one of the top teams and locker rooms I've ever been a part of. So, I mean, we really gel, we really click. And like I said, these guys are all family brothers and, from top to bottom in the organization, from, head coach, Coach James, and to all the other coaches and, just everybody who's involved in this organization. You know, I mean, it's just a class act, and it's run A1, and and they expect A1 out of you every day, and that's pretty much what we bring to the table. So it's been a great journey this year, and we just got to finish strong here and make this playoff push.
Yeah, it is a pretty good competition pool as far as the AFL is considered. Albany, obviously the heavy hitter, they're at 8-1, and then you've got Washington and Philadelphia in the mix, Baltimore, and then Craig's over on Columbus with the Destroyers, not having the best season, but I mean he's doing what he loves. And then of course you with Atlantic City, and you guys have had a little bit of a rough stretch. Is there anything in particular that has happened in those last 3 games that you guys have since adjusted and are going to finish strong here in the rest of the season?
Yeah, I just think there's been games that we've been in and we could have won, and we kind of let them slip, through our fingers with, just some mistakes and just some stuff we didn't fine tune and really focus in on all the way. And at the end of the day, mistakes kill you. And unfortunately, in these last 3 games, we've made, we've made too many mistakes, and it catches up to you, and you can't win ball games like that. It's such a fast game, and with the way the clock runs this year, and it's such a shootout back and forth in the AFL that you make 1 or 2 mistakes a game, and I mean that could cost you. So when you make more than that, it's not going to look pretty. And I mean, we battle, and we've been right there to win those games, and we've lost them, right at the end, or something just hasn't fallen our way, or just haven't got that ball to spin the way we want it to spin at times. So dealing with some injuries, a lot of guys banged up. Obviously, that's not an excuse and all that type of stuff, but like I said, when you deal with all that stuff together and put it together, it's sometimes, it can be tough to get a win. So we got to make sure we're fundamentally sound and really hone in on the mistakes that we've made, and which we have been doing and working on cleaning those up. And we're getting ready for Saturday for the showdown.
Yeah, you guys got 4 games left in your regular season. You are on the road against Washington, and then you're at home for the next one, and then a road again, a bye week, and then you have your final game of the season is at home hosting Baltimore. So right. I don't know how this year's playoff structure is. Everyone in, or is it taking 4 of the 6? Like, how's it work this season with it?
Yeah, it's the top 4 of the 6, okay. So that's why 2 teams won't make it. So like I said, we got to make sure we win out. We have no other choice here at this time. So we put our backs against the wall, and sometimes it's not bad to have a wounded animal against the wall. I mean, you come out fighting, and it's always something you're going to lay everything on the line. So I know all the guys are behind it. Everyone feels the same way around here. Backs against the wall, we'll push out. So we'll find a way.
Yeah, and you guys are 2 games behind Washington, Philly, and Baltimore, and luckily for you guys, you play all 3 of those teams. So pretty much at this point, if you win, you're in.
Right.
I mean,
right.
that's best case scenario. You would control your own destiny, but we'll see what happens with the other teams in the mix. But yeah, there's still plenty of season left for you guys, and I think as long as you're aware of mistakes that have been made and missed opportunities, that you guys will finish strong, because I know that you don't settle for second best. You want to be the best, and I could only imagine you on that field and in that locker room. What's it been like being on a team at this level, and this is your 3rd expansion team in a row? Like, is there anything that you're pretty used to by now, or is each experience a different one?
Every experience is a different one, but what I can say about this group and about being a part of this team is, everybody, I mean, we got studs across the board, and I think that's kind of what's made it so hard this year, as far as dropping the games that we dropped. I mean, with the talent we have on this roster from top to bottom, I mean, it's definitely one of the best professional teams I've been a part of. So, when you drop some games and you lose some games with the talent that you have and guys in positions that are the best to do it, at times, that can make it a little bit more frustrating. So that's kind of what it is too. You kind of come out and you lose a game. It's like you shouldn't lose a game, especially with what you got and you're playing with. So that's been the thing this year that's kind of, I think, frustrating everybody else, is just the fact that we know how good we are and how good we can be as a unit. We just got to find a way to put it all together and get back to these winning these games. But like I said, everyone in this locker room, I mean, top to bottom, is just as professional as it comes, and dominates at their position and really excels in the field. So great group of guys, great, the team and the chemistry is, and everyone's ready to go to war. And they we had the same mentality. Yeah, the best thing I say about this team, and with it being so high losing games is that still no one's folded and no one has, no one's packed it in. Everyone just knows we got to work harder. And it makes it easy to do that when you have the vets that we have. Like I said, we have guys across the board that are the best to ever do it at their position. So, when you have those guys and they're leading the way, you follow, you get on board with them, and you make the next step to getting that W.
What's the trick to meshing well early on with an expansion team? Because obviously, it's maybe not necessarily a new group of guys. You've probably played with a few of them before, but it's obviously a new city, a new culture, and a new locker room that you have to get used to, and then probably a new playbook.
Yeah, and I think it starts in camp. When you're in camp, you start finding out who people are, and you be yourself. And I think that's what's been the best about this team is everyone's been themselves, and we have such a dynamic, I'd say, range of guys from personality groups that's really what's made this team what it is. We have guys who are they all have some type of something that they bring to the table that's different than someone else that gets guys laughing. And I mean, the jokes we've had this year, the laughs we've had in the locker room, and even coaches on this team, they get involved. They're the same way. And I play personnel guys, we got a trainer. I mean, it's a family atmosphere. It's a family oriented team. And we really hang our heads on that. We make sure that's really what it's about. So I think that's from the beginning, we knew we had a locker room that was going to click. And our coach even said, it's, probably a team he's never seen a locker room like this as far as how guys gel and get along. I mean, ain't no one in here rubbing shoulders. So that's the best part about it. And, like I said, we get everyone involved through the interns. And like I said, we have races between interns at the end of practice at time. We got player personnel guy racing the trainer. And so, and that's what I mean. It's all fun and love and guys, picking sides and what they want to do. And I mean, just a great time. And, like I said, I know that, most of this is all, this is how Coach James is. It's his way. And, this is the type of the guys he likes to bring in, guys who are going to get, the job done on the field, but also guys who are going to be respectful and class acts all the way, through and through, but and gel and get together. I mean, he wouldn't have anybody on this team that was rubbing shoulders in the locker room, no matter how good they are. It's that tends to bring a team down. So like I said, that we've lost some games because we have all that type of stuff covered, and a lot of other teams probably don't. A lot of other teams, they've brought guys in. The roster's changed completely a lot. And our team, we've had the least amount of transactions. So Coach James, he's high on that. He doesn't like to mess up chemistry and mess up what he's got. He goes with the guys he's got, and if there needs to be changes, obviously like any other profession, there needs to be changes. But we don't do that, and that shows, he trusts our guy. He trusts the guys he has and the team he has around him. So we just gotta click and just really, like I said, focus in on every detail and just put it out there. And we got nothing to lose now, so just let it out. Let it go. It's nothing. We're like I said, we're the wounded animal, so we got to fight out of the corner.
Yeah, and it sounds like your coach is a guy who's obviously planning for the future, not for the right now, because the Predators in Orlando, they're obviously not an expansion team, but they came back after a hiatus, and there was a losing streak they went on, and they pretty much overhauled the whole roster. Some of the guys that they got rid of were friends of yours and mine that we know, and we were like, what are you doing? So it's good to see that there's still some, level heads prevailing, as they say, when it comes to a coach who doesn't try to go for the quick fix,
Absolutely. And I think that, that's the other thing about this team. I mean, we all respect, Coach James with everything we got. And, he's someone who you will go to war for and go out there and battle for every single day, because you see what he puts in, you see what he brings to the table, and you see the type of guy he is. I mean, he's one of the best I've gotten to play for, as far as a coach, but as far as also a player's coach, like I said, he's one of the most down to earth people. Like I said, class act. But then shit, when you light a fire in his ass and he gets going, you'll see something. You'll see something you don't see, and that's what I love about him. I mean, he will get you going. The way he'll look at you in the eyes before a game, and the way he'll talk to you, hey, you get the hair standing up, and that's my type of stuff, because that's how I am. So, like I said, it's an honor and a privilege to be able to play for him, and we just respect him so much, and that's why we want to win so much. We want to make sure, it's covering him, because I mean, that's just how good of a coach he is. It's just, he really is in tune with everything, and, I couldn't be happy to be able to play for him. And with all my heart.
Yeah, I think it's a good spot for you to be right now, man. I'm glad you're happy. I'm glad you're having a good time and competing, and being the best that you can be at that next level. So the previous level you were at, they're in the postseason, the IFL, and then there were 4. So we have Arizona hosting Nebraska and Iowa hosting Sioux Falls. I don't know how much of the season you've watched or paid attention to, but what do you think about these
tune
Final
in. I'm
Four?
always in on. It's a great group, great Final Four right there. I mean, all these organizations are coached great. I mean, they got great players on them and all that type of stuff. So I know the guys who are circulating between those teams, and those rosters are pretty stacked. So I mean, it's definitely going to be an interesting way. But with my choice, I mean, if I had to go with someone, it's just I'm going with what I see and who I see the gears turning on. I mean, I think the Arizona Rattlers right now just that's a monster over there. And I mean, like I said, they're A1 from top to bottom as well. And not that I don't respect those other organizations, but I just feel, week in and week out, it's put up or shut up, and they're 14-0 for a reason. So I personally would think the Arizona Rattlers would win this one. And, I got some guys on the team I know and respect very well, so I hope those guys can get the job done.
Yeah, you and I, we pretty much know somebody on every team at this point, and it's good to see this 4. I think this season for the IFL was really good. 10 teams, really good competition. There was even a few playoff spots that we didn't know until the last week of the season, which hasn't been something that we've seen in that league for a while.
Right,
so,
right, that's great, yeah.
Overall, great job, and Nick Haag's pick for the United Bowl is Arizona. Doesn't matter who they're up against. He thinks the Rattlers are going to get it done in 2019. So that's from a veteran, a man who's been there. And I think you guys are going to do great things with your Atlantic City Blackjacks. I got to say, man, the colors red, black, and gold. Man, those look good on you.
I knew you'd like those. That's like the Niners. That looks just like the Niners colors. So I knew that would just get your spirits high. So no, but it's a great color scheme. And like I said, we have great uniforms, and they do it the right way, and the fans out here are really starting to buy in, and the community is coming behind us too as well. So it's been picking up, every single week as the season goes on. So it's good to see that. And, like I said, uniforms, can't complain. They look sharp, and we were proud.
Well, I got to give me one. I got the Haag jersey that I got for the Pirates from last year. Still.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have to get something made up here for you for sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. Well, hey, I will let you get back to the grind. You got a big 4 weeks ahead of you, and I do thank you so much for your time. Always great to have you back, man. I miss you like crazy.
Hey, same here, man. Likewise, how I feel about you. So I appreciate always you giving me some time, and to all the fans out there, God bless always. Anybody who I haven't seen in a while, you know how to find me. Keep in touch. Miss everybody from all the different places I played. And, hey, every day wake up is a blessing. So it's always a blessing to do this type of stuff. And I appreciate you giving me the time.
Absolutely, man. Give your dad a hug for me. And he is Nick Haag of the Atlantic City Blackjacks, professional football team of the Arena Football League. And he is a professional football player, folks. You take care of yourself, Mr. Haag.
Hey, amen. 4-7 signing out, baby. Woo! We'll talk to you, baby. God bless.
God bless.
Later.
Always great talking to Nick Haag. I swear that man can put a smile on your face any day of the week at any moment. And one of the most passionate players that I've ever met. Had the honor of getting to know personally. So it's great to have him back on the show. So that will do it for this episode and edition of The Fan Show. As we close out another week and get ready for an all-new one next week, we'll know who's going to the United Bowl. 4 teams enter, 2 will advance. And again, those kickoffs are this Saturday at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, or 7 Central, and 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific, or 8 Central, as the Sioux Falls Storm and the Iowa Barnstormers battle, while the Arizona Rattlers and Nebraska Danger do battle as well. And don't forget, you can like and subscribe to the show in many ways. If you can't watch live or listen live, then at least we've got you covered on iTunes, SoundCloud, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. And don't forget to give us a like and follow on all the major social media platforms, which is Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. We have a YouTube channel as well. Look for those links on any of the respected Instagram social media pages, such as Instagram. You can tell it's the end of the week because I'm already leaping over my words and stumbling terribly. But just remember that if you miss the show live, which we would love to have you live, especially on the Facebook Live portion and interact with the rest of Fan Nation, that you can subscribe and you can always be in the know. So Twitter at FanShowOfficial, Facebook.com/FanShowOfficial. Give us a like, give us a share, and that's where a majority of the content debuts, and then we share it to the other platforms like Instagram, which is The Fan Show, and then the videos are available on YouTube. So remember, it's not official unless it's Fan Show Official, and we are officially out of here for the weekend. So best of luck to you and yours. Go Niners, and remember, it's all fun and games until you butt fumble. Good night, folks.
Do you remember the time that Mark Sanchez ran into his own player's butt? That was funny sports.
Thank you for having me on the show, man. I love the Fan Show.